Obviously, all of us as Christians, certainly those of us who serve the Lord publicly, are called to integrity. That is, to live what we preach, to be consistent, to be one, as that word integer indicates. That's critical. I mean, that's our calling. But at the same time, none of us can be perfect. So we're all going to, in some sense, preach a better message, proclaim a better message, believe a better message than we can live. We all fall short. 1 John says if we say we have no sin, we make God a liar, and the truth is not in us. So look, we're all going to, at some points in time, have our integrity called into question. How do we get it back? Well, first of all, we deal with small breaches of those truths that we affirm and declare. We deal with them in small ways, starting with the thought life, starting with what we say, and starting with the small acts of life, so that we don't ever get to a point where there's some massive collapse and epic breach of our integrity. You know, whenever I see somebody's life explode, somebody in ministry, somebody who has been proclaiming the truth, and their life erupts in some scandalous fashion, I always say that wasn't the beginning of anything. That was the end of a whole lot of things. It started with tolerating breaches of integrity in the mind, in the heart, in the thought life, in the private communication, things that were said that weren't public, tolerating sins here and there that seemed at the time to be small or maybe even marginal breaches of divine standards. But enough of that stacked together ends up in a disaster. James puts it this way: sin conceives in the heart and then ends up in death. So to maintain integrity is not to be perfect, but it is to deal with sin in the way that the Bible calls us to deal with it, and that is to repent of it, turn from it, and make it our ambition to be pleasing to God in everything we do, as well as what we say.